What's up, everyone? Clifford Starks here, competitive edge specialist, where we go from ordinary to extraordinary. And so I want to give you a strategy that has helped me several times through my journey and continues to help me. And I instill it upon the people that I work with. And so it's a three-piece strategy. And it's called think it, feel it, act it. It's when you can think about it, when you can feel it, and when you can fully act on it. And so for an example of think it, feel it, act it, in life, if you think what you're going after is possible, and trust me, it's about having as much fun and going as big as you can on your journey and stretching into whatever you stretch into. You'd be surprised what you can do. But it all starts with thinking of it being possible. And the next piece is feeling it, like truly feeling that possibility in your bones, in your soul, in who you are and what you stand for. And then you just act on that feeling and on that thought. Now, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that because everyone's in different places and stages on their journey. And so with think it, feel it, act it, it all comes down to asking yourself the question, what's possible to you? How big do you want to go in your life? What do you want to become? What do you think you can become? And I always stretch people past their limiting beliefs. That's the best way I can put it. Sometimes people don't give themselves enough credit to the things that they truly can become. And so I challenge them. And I want to challenge you to ask yourself, how far do you think you can go? How big do you think you can stretch? And from that thought, really feel the thought. And the feeling might make you nervous. In fact, if it's not making you a little bit nervous, you're probably not thinking big enough. So think big enough to where it makes you a little nervous, but excited at the same time. Because thinking so big that you're freaking yourself out of action is not healthy to do because you won't get to where you need to go. But if you can think where you stretch just enough to feel a little bit of fear, a little bit of uncomfortability, that's the sweet spot. And from there, start taking action. Because what the action does is it brings you closer to the new reality that you're looking for. Every time you take an action, you get closer and closer and stretch more and more into that person you want to be. And so give that strategy a try on your journey. Think it, feel it, act it. I remember me going on my UFC journey. I thought it was possible. I believed it could happen. And I felt it could happen. And I didn't even know exactly what actions I needed to take to get there. But I felt it was possible because I've had other successes on my journey. And so I held on to those other successes that I had had to help me get past some of the difficult times that happened during the journey. There were difficult times. And so I continued to act on what I needed to act on and stretched into what I needed to stretch into. And the cool thing with think it, feel it, act it, it doesn't just work with positive things, it works with negative things too. Like I remember one time when I was on my journey into getting into the UFC, I had cracked a rib. And that sucked. It was very, very painful. Let me tell you, using the bathroom was not easy, and I could not watch a comedy to save my life. Like any kind of movement around my rib cage, you forget how much you use your ribs when you're living life. But a cracked rib really reminds you very, very quickly. And so going through that, I thought about, okay, what can I do? And I went into, I got to heal. I got to heal this rib as fast as I can. And so I thought, how fast does a rib normally heal? And how could I heal it as fast as possible? And I felt it was possible. You know, I did all the things that I needed to do. I ate healthy. I took care of my rib. There was a Bosu ball that I had to lay on and stretch it out to make sure that it would heal properly too. And I would ice it, I would heat it. I did everything, every action possible to heal that rib as fast as I could because I had to pivot for a moment. I don't think my dreams are ever done. I just think, what do I do now to still keep moving towards the dream that I'm looking for? And so even though I did hit a major roadblock, I still had in the back of my head, I got to get into the UFC because that's what I want to do. And right now I have a rib that needs to heal as fast as possible. And it healed rather quickly because I did everything in my power to make sure that it would. I took thoughts, I took the feelings, and I took the actions, and I used them. And I hope you use these in your journey. Because whether you're 15, 25, 55, 75, or even older, you're going to get roadblocks. But not only that, you have big goals and you have big dreams. And sometimes we listen to so much outside noise, we forget who we are. And I'm just here to remind you that you are great, to remind you there is a competitive badass in you that wants to grow, that wants to stretch, that wants to do amazing things on the journey. To say, yeah, I lived a life well lived and was a hell of a lot of fun. So how big can you think? How much can you feel through those thoughts? And how much action are you willing to take to go in to your greatness? Are you going to do it in your relationships? Are you going to do it in your health? Are you going to do it in your finances? Where are you going to use think, feel, act? I hope it serves you and I hope it serves you well. Keep being great. Keep being amazing. There's a superstar in you. And I will say this, we become what we consistently practice. You see, if I did think, feel, act one time and said it doesn't work, then I'd just be wasting my energy. But if I repeat it over and over and over again, it becomes easier and easier and easier to do. And as it gets easier and easier and easier to do, you build major, major momentum and you skyrocket. Call it the compounding effect. So go compound into your greatness. Take it one step at a time. Think it, feel it, act it. Let me know what you want to do in your journey. Remember, there's greatness in you.